Let's see. All right, everything is looking good. All streams are up. Perfect. Let's open up chat. Connected to YouTube. Okay. All right, I think everything looks good. Just in case. Let me put this here. All right, we should be good to go. Yeah, everything should be good. All right, perfect. Planning to do a bit of shiny hunting on Arceus before we switch over to Scarlet. There's not too many that we need from Arceus, but I'm trying to get a few that I'm missing. And in the process, if we ever run into any specific mass outbreaks, then we'll take a quick look, just because the shiny odds are a lot higher for these mass outbreaks. And let me grab this chat here. Okay, perfect. And when we run into any duplicates, you know, I've been getting a massive collection of duplicates that I can give away to people. I should be able to reach partnership on YouTube. Oh, there's a shiny. What's up, Zarin? Where's the shiny at? I heard the shiny sound effect. Oh, it's a Bronzong. Not the shiny we were looking for, but we'll take it. Not bad. The shiny for Hisuian Bravery. Oh, speaking of shiny, we got another one back to back. This is why Legends Arceus is so good for shiny hunting. And since this is a mass outbreak, no more shinies are going to spawn, so we can just leave. Not bad. Few minutes into the stream and we already got 2 shinies that we're going to add to our giveaway pile in the near future. Let me go ahead and move these 2 over. So we move that one there. So yeah, off stream, I was doing some shiny hunting in Arceus, trying to find some of the last few that were missing. And these are the extras that I've gotten so far. Gibble, Tentacruel, we got a shiny Eevee, Chingling, and then the latest two, Bronzong and Rufflet. We can actually release all of these other Pokemon that we caught. Gives us some stuff that we can sell so we can buy more Pokeballs. I didn't realize how many Pokemon I've captured. All right, everything is cleared out. Oh, we missed that one. And that one. Okay, perfect. So the shinies we're looking for ideally are Charum Mass Outbreaks. That would be ideal. Let's see, Cyndaquil, because we're missing 2 Cyndaquils for our shiny living dex. We need Petalil, and then that's pretty much it, because the other ones are a bit more difficult to shiny hunt. There's the Burmy and Wormadam, but you can only get those from knocking on the trees. So the odds are, I wonder if the odds are still better to like just attack the trees. One second. All right, so we have some Chanseys. I think there's a, yeah. I have a Ghastly trying to kill me. It feels so weird. So today we're gonna be doing a mixture of Arceus and Scarlet shiny hunting. In Arceus, the main one we're looking for are... Okay, we should be back. I'm gonna go, I might need to just take off one of my streams. I haven't had any network issues until just now. It seems to be a common issue around the nighttime recently. But if you didn't hear my response, because I didn't notice my connection dropped, mainly Cyndaquil and Petalil are the Pokemon we're trying to shiny hunt in Arceus. Anything extra is just giveaway stuff. wish there was a way to view the inspector. Let's see. Okay, that's still going. Okay. I'm gonna have to keep an eye out. I might also need to contact my ISP and ask what's going on. Spent an hour yesterday waiting for a space-time distortion just to get an Oshawott for the Home Pokédex award. Yeah, I did the same thing a while back, specifically for a Shieldon. Alright, so it looks like my connection dropped again. I wonder, I might just have to try and just stay on Wi-Fi if that happens again. Because it's specifically my Ethernet that's dropping. So if it happens again, I'm going to switch to Wi-Fi and just see how well the stream holds. Because I've also... Yeah, I mean, I do have 4 streams running, but that shouldn't affect my Ethernet adapter, like, turning off. But if it happens again, I will try and see how Wi-Fi works. So I haven't had any issues really with internet until like maybe a week or two ago. Like I have a gig up and down. It's just it might be an issue with my computer with the Ethernet adapter or something. I might need to look into some more stuff to fix it. But like pretty much all day today, I haven't had any issues. And it's specifically the Ethernet, because like I have Wi-Fi on. Appreciate that. Thank you, Maja. So we'll see. If it happens again, I'll switch to Wi-Fi only and we'll see how the stream holds. But until then, you keep on going. Because this stream is mostly a test stream to see if I can multi-stream on multiple platforms. Because right now I have 4 streams going. I have YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. There's a chance I could just end the landscape stream on YouTube and keep just only portrait mobile streams going on all my platforms. Lots of testing to be done. We're just gonna go ahead and hit this tree. In the rare case it's a shiny. It is not. So we just run away. just so this thing doesn't end up bothering us. Alright, well, it might end up bothering us because we didn't catch it. So I'm currently in a... Well, in terms of multi-streaming, no, I don't have to pay for that. Okay, this is the last of the outbreak, so there's no more shinies. So I think we'll do like an hour of Arceus, and then we can switch to Scarlet. And then when we switch to Scarlet, we might be able to do a Union Circle. Yeah, my PC's pretty beefy. I have a... I think I have a 5070 Ti. I forget. Let me double check. Because I don't think it's a 5080. Yeah, 5070 Ti, 16 gig. I have, I think, 32 gigs of RAM. So it's pretty strong. Usually don't have any issues running games. But I might have to reduce it down to 3 streams because I have the 2 YouTube streams going. But yeah, I'm looking forward to eventually doing the shiny giveaway that I have planned for all the extra Pokemon I have. Because I have quite a bit of extra shiny Pokemon. Oh, I accidentally went here because my mark was there. Like I easily, just from like ZA alone, I have like probably, let me see, definitely in the hundreds. Of just extra shinies. Oops. I didn't realize I was so high. I wonder if they would announce a third Legends game in between Generation 10 coming out. Because apparently we won't be getting really any news about the new generation this year. So it's like, I wonder what they have in store, or if it's just, you know, only Pokemon Champions and Nintendo Switch Online ports. I still need to play Gale of Darkness. I actually never played that when it was out on the GameCube, when it actually released. I played Colosseum, but I didn't play Gale of Darkness. I don't think I ever even bought it. Trying to think of how old I would have been when that game came out. Definitely not old enough to buy it myself. Yeah, I've heard like rumors of a Legends Galar game. I would be down for another Legends game in between Gen 10. Because, excuse me, if Gen 10 is November of next year, that's quite a long wait. And that might be a tough wait for people. Legends Curum. See, I would love a Legends game for Generation 5. I feel like Generation 5 is kind of underrated. Generation 5 is the only game that gave me the similar feeling that Generation 1 did, where every single Pokemon was new. You didn't get any of the old Pokemon until you beat the game. Which I appreciate a lot. Also, Provoker, welcome. Yeah, anything Gen 5 again would be sick. Oh, these things are always so aggressive. No, don't attack the crunchy salt. They got a merged version of like Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem together leaked. That would be pretty crazy. I know once we start getting closer to Generation 10, I'm gonna like mute so much stuff about Pokemon. I want to try to go into Generation 10 as spoil free as possible. Like the previous generations, I feel like I've always seen stuff online. All right, that's the end of this. Oh no, never mind. There's more. Like usually the Legends game, I don't really care too much about spoilers, because usually they don't add too much. Like even Legends EA was really just mega evolutions, but not any like real new Pokemon. I really like regional forms. I think those are pretty cool. So I wouldn't mind some more regional variants. Like Hisui and Zoroark is like one of my favorite additions in the recent years when it comes to regional forms. The typing is great. Using it in Pokemon Champions is always fun because people don't really like expect the illusion, so they always try to fake out into that slot. But yeah, Winds and Waves is looking really good, because like especially if you compare I feel like this is what maybe it's copium, but if you compare the Scarlet and Violet reveal versus the Winds and Waves reveal, like they didn't really show too much in Scarlet and Violet. And we ended up finding out why, because that game looked kind of bad. But they actually showed us quite a lot in the Winds and Waves trailer. Like we actually got to see the starters in game. We got to see the region. Like we got to see a lot more compared to Scarlet and Violet. Like that trailer already looks better than what Scarlet and Violet ended up being. And if they're taking an extra potentially year to polish and make it look better, then that's going to be good, because this is the first time in a very long time, because it's always been like 3-year cycles between video games or generations, and this is going to be the first like 5+ year time gap between generations in Pokemon. So I'm hoping that's for the best, and that it actually creates a better game. Now obviously the dream would be if we get some voice acting in a Pokemon game, but I'm not going to hold my breath for that. But it would be really nice. It took Zelda how many years to finally get proper voice acting in Breath of the Wild, so who knows. Serperior does need more love. I think for Gen 10, if they decide to do something with Serperior, like they need to give Serperior either a Mega Evolution, a regional form, or if there's like whatever the new mechanic is in Winds and Waves, giving Serperior something. Because like if we go into now that you bring that up, if we go into every set of starters, I mean, granted, Gen 4 also kind of needs more love, because for Generation 1 we have Mega Evolutions, right? Charizard has 2. For Generation 2, we now have Mega Meganium and Mega Feraligatr, with Typhlosion having a Hisuian form, so that's something. And then 3rd generation, we have Mega Evolutions for all of those 3 because of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Generation 4 starters don't have anything. They don't have any regional variant or Mega Evolution. We go to Generation 5, we have Mega Emboar, which, that's a Mega there. Then we have Hisuian Samurott. Serperior doesn't have anything. Gen 6, they all have Megas now. Gen 7, there's nothing. Let's see, Gen 8. Gen 8, they have like the Gigantamax forms, I guess, is something. And then Gen 9 doesn't really have anything. But in terms of like long time, I would say Gen 4 as a whole could use some more love. Maybe that's a regional variance. But yeah, it kind of sucks to be Serperior, because it's like the other 2 starters have either a Mega or a regional variant, and you're just sitting there with the same stuff you've had for, what, over a decade? Hunting Dodozo and Scarlet and Violet is laggy. Yeah. Especially if you're on the Switch 1. The Switch 1 can't really handle some of those shiny hunts, especially in the water. That's why, like, I'm very happy that I ended up getting my hands on the Switch 2, because the difference in Scarlet and Violet from the Switch 1 to the Switch 2 is insane. Like, actually being able to play in 60 FPS, and I almost never have any performance issues. I was having some weird performance issues in Violet when I was doing the playthrough for that, just to get the Violet exclusives, but in Pokemon Scarlet, I've never had any crazy lag. Oh yeah, the Alolan starters got hidden abilities and Incineroar and Hisuian form, yeah. So yeah, there's a few starters that could use a bit more love. What what starter is everyone kind of leaning towards? I usually always go water starter. Okay, we'll do this one just in case the shiny odds are better. I usually go water starter. Like every single generation, my first playthrough, I always go the water starter. But this might be the first generation where I go fire starter, just because I am a dog person. So Ponbon is speaking to me, but I also do like Gekwa. Wasn't a fan of Brout, but the memes are hilarious. The Brout memes are too funny. Gekwa might get Greninja treatment. If Gekwa gets Greninja treatment, then 100% I'm going Gekwa, because Greninja is amazing. They had to nerf they had to nerf Protean because that ability was way too strong. Greninja was out here being a menace. Alright, looks like the outbreak is done. Yeah, actually, for the starters, I uploaded a video. It's on my TikTok as well, I'm pretty sure, where I did some predictions on what the shinies might look like. I think the Ponbon that I made white is probably the one I like the most. Your first shiny starter was Popplio? What was my first shiny starter? Let me see, I didn't shiny hunt until recently. It might have been Rowlet from in Legends Arceus, probably. Because I didn't really start shiny hunting until like mid 2024, maybe, or like beginning 2025. Like I had some shiny hunts I did in the 3DS days, but it wasn't like super active. So really my collection over the past like year and a half has been mainly Legends Arceus and then Legends EA. Your first was Shiny Cyndaquil. My first Shiny Cyndaquil in Legends Arceus was an alpha. So I ended up evolving it to Hisuian Typhlosion to have an alpha shiny Hisuian Typhlosion. No. I'm pretty sure they're not allowed there either. Like, I didn't even buy ZA. I borrowed it from a friend. So I shiny hunted everything I needed to, and then I recently returned the game to them. So now all of my like Legend ZA shinies are kind of stuck in Pokemon Home because I can't move them over to Scarlet. So I'm gonna have to wait until Gen 10 or a Legends game to come out that allows them to be moved over. I tried to move my shiny Volcanion that I got from the Pokemon Home reward, but Volcanion is locked to Legend ZA. You can't move it to Scarlet. My character looks like Volo. Yep, that is the point. Every now and then I just change the outfit up. So we're doing the, I guess, Volo cosplay at the moment. Is there a no, there's no outbreak that we care about. Also, welcome Wave. How you doing? So we're specifically looking for either outbreaks in this area, because that's where we get Cyndaquil and Petalil, or any random mass outbreaks, just because the odds are higher on those. We currently have about 6 spare shinies to add to our eventual shiny giveaway collection. So yeah, right now I got an extra Gibble, Tentacruel, Eevee, Chingling, Bronzong, and Rufflet. I imagine the Eevee is going to be pretty popular for a future giveaway, because you have so many options that you can choose from. All right, do we have anything here? We do not. Once we switch over to Scarlet, we'll be doing, or at least attempting to do, some Union Circle shiny hunts. I usually have a friend back in the States that we did it once before, and we got like 6 or 7 shiny Fluttermanes. It was pretty insane. And even like the most recent streams I've done, I got, oh, these are all mass outbreaks. Okay. So let's see, which one do we want to try and get a shiny from? maybe Rhyperior. I'm thinking these two. I already have a couple extra shiny Sligoos. So let's try to get a Rhydon. And if it's not shiny, we'll reset reset and try to get Munchlax. I really like Legends Arceus. I think Legends Arceus is one of the like better Pokemon games that have come out in quite some time. It also has probably one of the better final battles in the franchise. All right, so we need to find. Okay, there it is. Got a shiny Dondozo. Congrats. It's a very easy shiny to see because that thing is massive. All right, why'd you gotta be difficult? I need to buy some of the, I forget what it is. It's like one of these stun, I think it's like a moss ball or something to stun them. All right, that's. Oops. Nope. All right, we cut it quite a bit, so I don't think there's a shiny there. Let's go check out Munchlax. Yeah, I definitely recommend anyone that is thinking about shiny hunting. If you have Legends Arceus and you can unlock the mass outbreaks, probably the best game to start shiny hunting in. This is actually the same location that I caught my first shiny Munchlax in. What's up, Hammy? Welcome, welcome. All right, no shiny. All right, that's fine. We'll just keep going. Got a shiny Shellos yesterday. Nice. Which one did you get? The blue one or the pink one? Or pink and brown? I've yet to get the. I think the pink and brown one is West Shellos. I think blue is East. Or I have those mixed up. I don't know. The blue one? Nice. Yeah, I recently got a random encounter Shellos. No, it's not that one. I think it's here. Yeah. It wasn't an outbreak, just a random shiny spawn while I was trying to shiny hunt for shiny Basculin. You got it from doing a massive mass outbreak? Yeah, the massive mass outbreaks are like the best for shiny hunting. Mass outbreaks and then massive mass outbreaks. I think mass outbreaks are like 1 in 100 something, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I also got a two shiny Teddy Ursas in one massive, not massive, but one mass outbreak. I think I have a clip of that on my Switch as well. I usually try to screen record because I upload things to like YouTube and TikTok. Also, my aim is horrible right now. I'm using the Joy-Cons and it feels so weird because I've been using my 8-bit Do controller. Is Skyball good even on non-flying Pokemon? What's up, Alham? Yeah, it's usually fine. Like, it works better for flying Pokemon, but like it might be a little tough for some of the Pokemon that are a little harder to catch, but it's really good for some of the Pokemon that tend to run away if you get too close to them. Like, especially, is that John Volo the fourth? Yes, it is. What's up, Jester? Welcome. Is there a way you can trigger a mass outbreak? So, if I remember correctly, you unlock mass outbreaks after beating the game. I'm trying to remember. Like it's the end game stuff. So you have to, I think you have to beat the story, or you have to get to a certain rank, and then once you unlock them, they just spawn. So, and it's randomized. So, I think maybe after chatting with Arceus. I believe so. It's been a while since I've done it, so I don't remember. But usually there's like a specific mission that you get from like the chief or whatever. Like I think it's a specific mass outbreak mission where they're like, hey, we got reports of like a crazy, mass outbreak or a bunch of Pokemon spawning. And then you do the mass outbreak and then eventually it unlocks it. And then once you have it unlocked, it's just randomized. So just now, there were no mass outbreaks in my map. So you just have to zone into a location, go back to the village, and then the mass outbreaks reset. So the mass outbreaks are really good because it's only one specific Pokemon, and usually the odds are a bit higher. The massive mouse outbreak is there's like a bunch of Pokemon that show up, and you can use Munchlax to find out which Pokemon are in the outbreak. Usually they are just question marks, and you have to fly to each one. But mass outbreaks are the best shiny odds. Massive mouse outbreaks are good because you have a whole group of Pokemon that you can choose from. And what most people maybe don't realize is people have figured out in the code of the game that the order of which you do things when it comes to catching Pokemon, like for example, let me just save here and see if I can actually show it off. Okay, so here I'm just gonna catch all of these Wurmple. Oh, I ran out of Ultra Balls. I need to go buy some more. Okay, so as you guys saw here, I went and caught all of them and no shiny popped up. Now, there's like a shiny, I guess a seed. So if I kill the first Wurmple, every other Pokemon after that is different. So there's still a chance that I can get a shiny Pokemon from this mass outbreak by doing things in a different order. So I'll see if I can do it here. So let's go ahead and use Decidueye. So here we're gonna kill Wurmple. And the last time we did it, we caught them all, and they were all normal Wurmples. So now every other Pokemon after this should be different than what we did before. So the first 4 are always the same. But now there's a chance that, you know, we might get an alpha here. We might get a shiny, because I've done that before. Whoops. We'll try a few different seeds. I think there's like one more shiny Wurmple over here that's kind of, yeah, but the outbreak is done. So now this time I'm gonna try to kill 2 Wurmples and see if anything changes. So this is a really good method. There's a whole website for this where it shows you the different variations that you can do. So sometimes, especially for people who aren't aware, they'll come to a mass outbreak and they'll catch all the Pokemon and they won't get a shiny, and then they're like, oh, okay, well, there's no shiny here. But if you go through some of the variations, you might actually run into a shiny. So killed one, I'm gonna go kill another one. It would be cool if we do get a shiny from this, just so I can show off this method. Either that or an alpha, because that's usually the indicator. There's also a chance it just doesn't happen. Okay, doesn't look like it's gonna So this is usually what I do a few times. For anything that I want to shiny hunt, I'll do a couple different variations just in case there's a shiny in one of those variations. Because this happened to me a few times where I caught all of the Pokemon and none of them were shiny. I went back. Yeah, it definitely works. I've done it before. There was one time with shiny Scyther where I caught all of the Scythers, but none of them were shiny. I killed one, and then eventually in the outbreak, one of them were shiny. I'll see if I can try and showcase it on stream. Because at the end of the day, it's still RNG, but sometimes the different seed variations, there's like different kind of combinations where like maybe you catch the first two. I don't think I have a current clip on my Switch because usually I upload them to YouTube or TikTok. But I'll see if I can replicate it. You got a shiny dino. Nice. All right, so this is the massive mouse outbreak. I kind of want to show it off in a mass outbreak. The massive ones you can also do, but the variations in those are a bit higher. But yeah, I'll see if I can show it off. I want to try to do a mass outbreak because the odds are higher. And if the first 4 Pokemon are not shiny, then I can potentially better weighted. Yeah, so massive, you can still do the same trick. It works for both. Massives are, so there's a whole website. If you look up like Legends Arceus massive outbreak generator or like tool, there's a whole website and it lists every single variation that you can do. So like sometimes you kill 2 at the same time, sometimes you kill 3 at the same time, which means like they have to be in the battle together. Okay, so we have a Rhyhorn here. Let's just see. I'm kind of hoping the first 4 don't have a shiny, because then that'll be a better way to showcase it. But the first 4 are always the same. They never change. Everything after that changes depending on what you do. Okay. So we have 4 Rhyhorns here. I'm just going to use these. Oh, I just realized I don't think I saved. Yeah, I didn't save, but I can still do a backup. All right, so those are all of the... Okay, so these are gone. Now I'm just gonna check how many I captured. Okay, so it's 14 Pokemon. So I'm gonna do a reset and I'm gonna do a backup for when I flew into the area. And then let's see here. Let me actually look up the Arceus mass outbreak. Tool. All right, mass outbreak, catch, and multi despawn. So here I'm looking at, so I caught all 14. So with 14 Rhyhorns, this is why it's kind of insane. There are 1,297 different variations within this outbreak. Oh, I forgot to do the thing. Oh well. So there's that many different variations. So if you wanted to, you can go through all 1,000 whatever variations, and ideally there's a shiny in one of those variations. But that also takes a lot of time. Usually I would say only do that if you really want a shiny Pokemon, but sometimes it's just faster to just go around and shiny hunt normally. But I've definitely done it before. All right, so we have a Tangrowth and Golbat. So I want to try, let's go with Tangrowth just to see. So in all of those variations of shiny Pokemon or the mass outbreak, ideally, because the odds of getting a shiny Pokemon in mass outbreaks are so low, ideally one of those variations has a shiny. Now, there could be multiple different variations that have a shiny Pokemon in them. You just could never tell because everything is, random. But in 1,000 different possibilities, ideally one of them has a shiny Pokemon. All right, these things are being a little annoying. All right, so let's do this. I'm just gonna kill these. The only thing I didn't really like about Arceus was the battle system a little bit, because sometimes the damage didn't make sense. Like sometimes you have like some weak Pokemon doing a lot of damage to your level 100, and it doesn't quite make sense. All right, so that's the end of this outbreak. But yeah, if you're interested in seeing how the method works, I would definitely look up a like YouTube video on it, because there have been people who have actually recorded it and showing how it works. It might be difficult to get it done on stream, but I will try to get it done on stream. All right, we have another Rhydon mass outbreak. Let's go ahead and try. After this, I need to remind myself to buy some more Ultra Balls. Okay, so ideally none of these are shiny. Okay, perfect. That Sneasler is going to be annoying, so we want to try to fly over here. I need to remember to save. I'll do a backup. Alright, so this is the end of the outbreak, so let's go ahead and restart. Do a backup. Excuse me. Oh, I keep forgetting. Oh well, we'll do Golbat. All right, Golbat is over here. Okay, so we have a bunch of Golbats here. This is Legends Arceus. God, so many. Okay, so there's only 3. Let's do a reset. So in this first iteration, we tried to catch them all. They were all normal Golbats. I'm gonna try and get all 4 of them together and kill all 4 at once and see if anything changes. So as we saw, we caught all of them. There were no shinies. I'm gonna get them all mad at me. I'm gonna go into a battle with all 4. So I'm gonna kill all 4. Or faint. Or knockout, I guess is the better term. Okay, so we still need to knock out 2 more. Okay, knock out 2 more. And ideally, every Pokemon after these 4 should be different than the last set that we just caught. So if we see a shiny Pokemon or an alpha Pokemon, we'll see that they're changing. So it's okay. So we don't see any visible differences as of right now. But we killed 4. You can also check with like the genders of the Pokemon. Like that's another easy way to check. So this then didn't work. I'll try 2 more variations. I'll try triple KO and double KO. I usually only do like 4 variations because it just takes a lot of time. So we did the 4 KO variation. We're gonna try and do 3. I think after this, I'm gonna go grab a quick drink. All right, so let's go ahead and grab 3 of them. Okay, we got 3. So we're gonna knock out 3. But I've definitely gotten a few shinies from saving before an outbreak and doing different variations. It's not always guaranteed, but sometimes it works. Okay, so now we go hide. Now let's see what all of these new ones end up being. If we get an alpha or not. Okay, doesn't look like it. But it's definitely doable. It's just gonna be difficult to actually show it off on stream. But usually the best way you can tell, even if you don't get a shiny or an alpha, you can look at the levels of the ones you caught and the genders. Because every variation has new Pokemon past the initial 4. All right, we have a good bite. We can try and do that. Okay, this one's over here. We'll drop a save right before we get to the outbreak. Just do a couple more tests. Okay, perfect. We don't have a shiny here. Okay, so let's go ahead and save here. Now we're gonna try and catch all of these. Now some of these can be a little annoying to catch. Okay, perfect. So we got a shiny here. I hope people are still around and they can see. So we got a shiny spawn from just catching all of them. We'll see how many. Let me see. Okay. I'm just gonna catch these two just to see how many we caught in total. These are always so difficult. All right, so this is perfect. I should be able to showcase the differences. All right, so there's two more. All right, so either way, we saw a shiny pop up. So I did a save beforehand, so I'm gonna reset it. And this time we're gonna kill or knock out the initial 4 and then catch everything after. And we're gonna see if a shiny still pops up. If a shiny doesn't pop up, then that will show everyone that there's different variations. So we have this initial 4. I'm gonna go ahead and get into a battle with them. Okay, so I have all 4. I'm gonna go ahead and knock all 4 of these out together. Okay. Okay, this was like best case scenario to show this off. So Alheim, if you're still around, we finally got something to show you the variations. Now we can still be lucky and this variation has a shiny, but okay, we knocked out 4. So now if we catch the rest of these, there's a good chance okay, see here we got an alpha Pokemon, which was different than the last one. The last one we got a shiny. And now this is the end of the outbreak, since there's only 3. So now, if we go back to our save from before and redo the same thing and catch everything and not knock out anything, the shiny should pop up again. Because each variation is already predetermined once you go into the zone. So here we're in the outbreak again, so I'm just gonna go ahead and catch. Appreciate the follow, Lukewarm. So now that we're back here, we're just gonna catch everything as we did before. Because we didn't knock out anything. Some of these are being difficult. All right, I'm gonna reset aggro on these. And then we're gonna come back. I might even just throw some bait. Scarlet and Violet looking different here? Yeah, a little bit. I'm actually going to be switching to Scarlet and Violet in just in a bit. I'm showcasing the variations in mass outbreaks. And there we go. So there's the shiny that we saw before. So the first time we did this, we caught everything that we saw and a shiny Pokemon popped up. When we reset the game and knocked out the initial 4, we didn't get a shiny Pokemon. We got an alpha Pokemon, but we didn't get a shiny Pokemon. So whenever it comes to mass outbreaks, there are different seeds or variations depending on what you do. So hopefully Alham is still around to see that. But this is a good thing to do if you ever run into a mass outbreak. Go ahead and catch them all. If you don't see a shiny, then you can always do the outbreak again. You want to make sure you save beforehand, but the next time you do it, you like knock out one Pokemon and then catch the rest. Because when you knock out one Pokemon, every other Pokemon after that is different than the first like variation or seed. Okay, so I'm glad we were able to do that on stream. That was nice. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think that's a good way to end Arceus, showing off that method. Let's go ahead and clean up our boxes. And then we can do some shiny hunts in Scarlet. So these are all the extras so far that we have. Shiny Gibble, Tentacruel, Eevee, Chingling, Bronzong, Rufflet, and Gabite. So let's go ahead and release all of these. And then we'll go into Scarlet, and I think we can try and shiny hunt for Grookey. So that's one of the last starters I need outside of the Gen 9 starters. I'm not looking forward to shiny hunting them. I might need to wait for like a Pokemon Go event to happen or something, because it took me 885 eggs just to get a shiny Sprigatito. All right, let's go ahead and save. So we got what, like 3 shinies on stream for Arceus? Nope, not Violet. But yeah, I'm glad we were able to show off that variation method. Okay. So I think we will. Yeah, it's so crazy going from Arceus to Scarlet on the Switch 2. It's like going from 30 FPS to 60 FPS. Scarlet and Violet has never looked better. You're gonna try and shiny hunt now in Arceus? You literally pick this back up to hunt for a shiny Dex too? Nice. Yeah, I only have a few left in Arceus to shiny hunt. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're gonna go and shiny hunt for Grookey, which is like over here. You finished the shiny alphabet yesterday. Now, by shiny alphabet, do you mean like all of the unknowns? Like all of the letters shiny? Or like you caught a Pokemon for each letter shiny. Yes, sir. Damn. That is something I definitely want to do at some point, but I'm not sure when, because that is a tough task. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a grass sandwich. Question mark and exclamation as well. Nice. Which Pokemon game should you buy now? So, which Pokemon games do you have? Oh, I was supposed to make a sandwich. Or which Pokemon games do you not have, I guess, on the Switch? One lettuce, and I believe... Is it salty and a spicy? I always forget the shiny sandwich recipes. I like doing the single ingredient ones. Those are really nice. Salty and a spicy. Okay. Only Arceus, which you're borrowing. So do you also have, do you have the Switch 2 or you just got your Switch 2? Okay. I would say if you're trying to shiny hunt, especially now that you have the Switch 2, the Switch 2 makes a lot of shiny hunts a lot better because the Switch 2 can handle more Pokemon on the screen. ZA is also really good for shiny hunting. That game is pretty broken for shiny hunting. So yeah, I would say Legend ZA first, because you can get a lot of shinies very quickly in that game. And then eventually Scarlet and Violet, I would say. Like if you want the most Pokemon available to you, I'm pretty sure Scarlet and Violet has the most Pokemon available to you. And the Switch 2 runs the game very well. So we're gonna do this method instead of an outbreak because we have to reset for an outbreak and that takes a while. So we might get a shiny Blossom in the meantime doing this. Good gameplay. So if you want traditional Pokemon gameplay, like turn-based gameplay, then you're gonna want Scarlet and Violet. If you want more like a newer style of gameplay, then ZA. ZA is a bit more real-time fighting versus turn-based. I would definitely look up some trailers on ZA to see if you're kind of into that. But if you want traditional Pokemon gameplay, then, you know, Scarlet and Violet. See, I already have a shiny Blossom from, I think maybe the 3DS games. So if we run into one, we will add it to our pile. I feel like it's almost kind of better to fly really high up. Because then the grass doesn't really like blend in too much. Boom, 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 boom. Man, when I was shiny hunting in Violet, because I'm borrowing it from someone, just so that I could shiny hunt the exclusives. I already got all the exclusives, so now I can like return the game to them, but not being able to fly felt so bad. Because you don't unlock flying, I think, until the DLC. And I'm not going to buy the DLC in Violet just for the like 4 exclusive shiny Pokemon that I need. I'll just do a Union Circle for that. All right, we should be back. My Ethernet dropped for a second there. We might just go only for the length of time on this sandwich. And then I might need to look into some stuff on my computer because I don't know what's going on. The Wi-Fi is fine, but I don't know if the Wi-Fi can handle all of these streams going at once. I might have to do a test. Do a test stream only on the Wi-Fi and see if I can do the multi-stream. Although if it does, yeah, if it drops again, I guess I can switch to Wi-Fi and just disable my Ethernet. Yeah, on the beach is mostly a mixture of the two. Over here we get a couple more Grookey spawns. Maybe I should do a picnic reset here. And it still kind of feels slow. Let's see, how many minutes do we have on this sandwich? 20? Okay. So yeah, we'll do the rest of this sandwich timer, and then I think we will stop there. Because it's almost closing in on midnight over here. And oh, wait, there's a shiny. Let's go. Shiny Grookey. Endeavor, interesting. So what Pokeball do we use? I'll just throw a luxury ball. I don't really have another color fitting Pokeball. Starters always got to be difficult. Just stay in the Pokeball. I guess a Nest Ball kind of works, right? Oh, I don't have any more of those. There we go. Critical capture. Clip that for later. All right, perfect. Shiny Grookey in about 10 minutes. Now we just need 2 more for our shiny living Dex. Yeah, I really like when the shinies are noticeably different, especially in Scarlet and Violet, where you actually have to pay attention. Because some of these shinies are horrible. Like barely any difference in their color. And so you have to like hard focus. All right, can we get a second one? 16 minutes left. Yeah, every now and then we get lucky. We get the 3 starters we need in one shiny sandwich. That's what happened when I shiny hunted Litten. I got all 3 within the 30-minute sandwich timer. Sometimes some of these Pokemon, like, seems like they glitch out and they start like screeching or something. Okay, I think we're about maybe like what, 10? Okay, 11 and a half minutes left on the sandwich. Ideally, we get one more shiny. If not, I'm gonna have to use another shiny sandwich to get the rest of the Grookies that I need. If we don't get another Grookey, at least maybe a Blossom. Just to add to our giveaway pile. Oh, there goes our second one. Not bad. Second shiny. This is perfect. No, but I've caught a bunch of well, I wouldn't say a bunch, but I've caught in a shiny Munchlax already from Legends Arceus. All right, our second Grookey. So now, if we can get our hands on one more, we have the entire evolutionary line for our shiny living decks. Can we get the last shiny we need in 10 minutes? All right, 9 minutes to go. 9 minutes to go. Okay, no, that's not shiny. It was lighting. Thought that was shiny for a second. It has a crafty mark and is jumbo size, so it's unique in that sense. I did also catch the... It was a random encounter. I wasn't even trying to shiny hunt for it. The Alpha Snorlax in Legends Arceus. I was like on my way to another mass outbreak and it just happened to spawn shiny. I don't really care too much about marks, really. I just care about getting the shiny Pokemon. And speaking of which, there's our third shiny Grookey. Let's go. This was a good stream. And then we can do all the evolutions. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Did it kill itself? Ah, this is why you save. Well, I just failed a shiny. This is why you always save before getting a shiny, because they might kill themselves. Well. See, this is what happens when you get too excited and you don't save before shiny. Well, time to upload that to YouTube later. I just assumed it didn't have Woodhammer because the last two did not use Woodhammer. Well, that is unfortunate. I should have just quick balled. Now there's a chance I don't find another one. Yep, always save, always save. And I'm pretty sure the last two I saved, but for some reason I just didn't save on this one, and that's what happens. Well, we got 5 minutes to find another one. This time I'm gonna save, and I'm just gonna throw a quick ball and call it a day. We might be ending stream on a sour note of failing a shiny. Less than 4 minutes. So you have to get blueberry points in this specific DLC area, and it costs 3,000 blueberry points to unlock starters in one biome. So in total you need 12,000 points to unlock all the starters in this area. The only starters that are not shiny huntable like this are the Generation 9 starters. The only shiny hunting method is breeding, unfortunately, or you can shiny hunt them in Pokemon Go. But in terms of Scarlet and Violet, you can only breed. It's not looking good for us finding another shiny before the sandwich is over. Unfortunate. Always save, always save. Yeah, there's a bunch of quests too. Like, hey, like surprise this Pokemon, take a picture of this Pokemon, catch this. It's definitely easier in a union circle because like everyone's progress counts towards the blueberry quests. But if you're unable to find union circle like discords, then it is doable alone. It just takes a little bit. All right, we got a minute and a half. The crazy thing is I could have failed the first shiny that we found because I also used false swipe on it and it just happened to not use Woodhammer. So I got pretty lucky on that first one. Yeah, the photo ones are annoying because you have to actually go in and delete them from your album. right, this is probably the last reset. Thank you, Boomer, for the follow. You just got Violet yesterday. You need tips to shiny hunt. So the best thing to do, or the first thing to do, is you need to get your hands on a shiny charm. So for the shiny charm, you need to pretty much catch all the Pokemon. If you do have Pokemon Home and you already have Pokemon available to you, then you can just transfer them in and it counts as you like catching them. But definitely get the shiny charm and like beat the game so that you unlock mass outbreaks. All right, we're gonna do one more sandwich just because I don't want to end on a bad note. It's like I need to get all of these. It's gonna bother me only having one left. Yeah, I gotta reclaim it. The same thing happened to me with a friend. We were doing Union Circle shiny hunting, and it was the same stream that we caught like 6 or 7 Fluttermanes. I forget if you were there or not. And I finally got a Dreepy, and I forgot to save after catching the Dreepy. And then like, I feel like 10 minutes later, my game crashed. The first time I've ever had like a game crash on my Switch 2, and because I didn't save, I lost the shiny Dreepy. But I did reclaim it when I was shiny hunting in Violet, where I caught six shiny Dreepies in one sandwich. So I borrowed it from a friend. Because there was only a little, you know, it was only the Violet exclusives that I was missing really. And I didn't want to buy the whole game just for like 10 shinies. So I borrowed it, speed ran the game as fast as I could. I transferred all my Pokemon over to get the shiny charm immediately. Like, I think I actually have a screenshot that I can show. Yeah. So this is an hour and a half into my Violet playthrough, and I have the Pokédex completed because I moved everything over. What up, Jiri? All right, we have 30 minutes to reclaim this Grookey and potentially get a shiny Blossom in the process. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of trainers I haven't battled. Like when it came to the DLC, I already had everything at like, you know, all my Pokemon at level 100, so I just like didn't battle. I was like, I just want to shiny hunt and do the DLC. That's it. There's like so many of these trainers that I haven't battled. There's not much of a need to. I mean, I guess there's like something for doing it, but it doesn't seem like it's worth that much. Yeah, I found that out when I think I was like trying to level up a shiny Pokemon that I recently caught, and I didn't realize it was double battles. So I went in and there's like a level 10 that I have doing a double battle, and I only had like 2 Pokemon in my party, so it just kept dying. I was definitely not prepared for the double battles. And then they actually have like actual items, like some of the Pokemon have leftovers or, you know, a bunch of other different items. I was like, oh wow, these are actual like actual trainers. Yeah, I've been enjoying Pokemon Champions. I still need to get to Master Rank in single battles. I've been using like random teams. Because it's kind of been a challenge for me. Like I got to Master Rank using the auto team builder in Pokemon Champions, and initially the challenge was I can only use shiny Pokemon that I've captured. So at the time I didn't have like shiny Incineroar or Primarina, a bunch of other different Pokemon, so I couldn't use them. And so now I'm doing the same thing with single battles. I'm like Ultra Ball 2, I think. So I'm pretty close to getting Master Rank on both. I participated in my first tournament as well. It was a bit difficult because it was like based off the like East Coast time, I think, or UK time or something. But it was like super late for me. I think it was East Coast. Like the tournament started at like 11 p.m. in Japan. But I did end up going positive. I went 4-3. I didn't reach top cut because I think you needed a record of like 5-2 to reach top cut. But at least my first tournament experience, I went positive, so that was fun. And I was using the same auto team that that I got into master rank, so it wasn't like a super like serious team. I don't know if I would enter a tournament again because it is a long process, especially the time difference. Like I would have to enter a tournament here in Japan or something, just so that the times aren't crazy. No, I never played competitive in Scarlet and Violet. The last time I ever played competitive, and it was more so like 6v6, like Smogon rule set, not like official VGC, was like Ultra Sun and Moon around that time. And then I kind of took a break from battling, and I was just like shiny hunting and playing the games. So Pokemon Champions is my first VGC experience, and I'm actually enjoying it. Oh wait, that's a shiny Blossom. All right, we'll take it. I'm just gonna use a quick ball. It's not gonna work. I'll just use a repeat ball then. Nope. I'm still kind of paranoid. Like I'm pretty sure Blossom doesn't get any recoil moves, but now I'm just paranoid. Just stay in the ball. Like I'm pretty sure I could false swipe it, but get self-healing. Yeah, I tried to use Moonlight. I'll do one more, and then if not, I'll false swipe it. There we go. All right, Blossom. Still need to reclaim our Brookie. but we will take an extra shiny Blossom for future giveaways. What up, Travis? Welcome, welcome. Currently trying to shiny hunt for a Grookey because I caught 2 of them, and the third one I forgot to save. I used False Swipe, and it happened to have Wood Hammer, which I was not aware of, and it killed itself. So we're trying to reclaim our shiny fail before the stream is over. Do I have more Pico normal? I currently don't have normal more Pico, no. Do I know Japanese? Yes. I'm not fluent by any chance, but like conversational Japanese, I can kind of get by. Because I'm currently in next month, or the end of next month, will make it like 2 years roughly that I've been living in Japan. Been studying and trying to get my Japanese better so I can find work. Have a potential job opportunity in a few weeks that I'm meeting with the person at their business. We had dinner together and talked, so he thought my Japanese was all right. Can you recommend you a course where you can learn to speak? So there are a couple apps, like language exchange apps, that are pretty good. There's like Hello Talk, there's like Tandem. It might be difficult with the time difference to like speak with someone in Japan. But I went to a language school, so that's how I learned. But in terms of like apps just to like start learning, there's like there's the application for the alphabet, so hiragana, katakana, and kanji. So I would say for beginners, you want to learn hiragana and katakana, like 2 of the Japanese alphabets. Because once you can read those, it'll be easier for you to actually like at least say some things. So I would learn like the Japanese alphabet first. You have a Genki textbook. Yeah, that's one option. I remember trying to learn Japanese when I was still in the States, but it was kind of difficult because of the time difference, and no one really around me spoke the language, obviously. So one day I just decided to move to Japan. The first like year and a half, I was here on a student visa, which is like the easiest way to move to the country. Genki yo. How's it like there? I like it. It's pretty chill. People are nice. It's pretty safe, you know. I could like I can sometimes leave my home door like unlocked and nothing is gonna happen. Yeah, if you're ever thinking about moving, yeah, definitely learn the language because you will need it. They really like degrees, so because like I never got a degree. I kind of just went through like specialty training in IT and kind of skipped the whole college thing because I didn't really like the whole college system, which is unfortunate because they really like degrees in Japan, especially for like sponsorship opportunities. I'm currently like N4, N3 level. I probably would be higher level if I studied more, but I know myself and I can only study for so long. Also, I'm in Osaka, so they don't speak like the proper textbook Japanese, which can be a little difficult. All right, we got 10 minutes. It's not looking good for us reclaiming our shiny Grookey. It's not looking good. So I don't know about cybersecurity jobs in Japan. I used to work in cybersecurity back home, but I am not sure about Japan. I don't know the job market in Japan. Anything IT would generally be good. Definitely engineering jobs are always like looked for from what I've noticed. But I'm not an engineer. I could never really get into the coding thing. Found a shiny Cacnea. Nice. Oh, if I don't get the shiny Grookey on stream, I will definitely and most likely be shiny hunting before I go to sleep to reclaim the Grookey. Let this be a reminder to always save before you run into a shiny, because you never know what might happen. Like, that's actually happened to me a few times where I went and was shiny hunting a Alolan Muck, and it used the memento and killed itself. But luckily I saved beforehand. But yeah, you always want to save beforehand because you never know. They might have a recoil move. Like some Pokemon will just use explosion. It's a whole bunch of stuff. So you always want to save. Oh, okay. I missed your question, so I actually didn't respond. So the way I got here was I just looked up a language school. There's usually quite a bit. You look up a language school, they have short-term courses where it's like 3 months to long-term courses where it's like a year. And you know, you fill out all the information, you give them the documents that they need, and they pretty much handle all of the embassy stuff. and then you just like eventually, once you're approved and accepted, you get your visa and then you fly to Japan. Some schools usually have like real estate people that they can assist you in like finding an apartment before you move. That's what happened to me. But that's how I got here. I went, searched for language schools in a specific area of Japan that I wanted to live in. So it kind of varies, but I think it's like, I think for half a year, it might be like $3,000. I don't know. They usually have the price on the website. But I can't say for sure off memory. What is one Pokemon you want to have a form or Evo in Winds and Waves? I want, and it's two Pokemon. I want a evolution for male Combi, even though we have Beedrill, they can figure something out. And I want an evolution for male Salandit. It's the fit, like, it's, you know, Arbok is a good choice for like a sea snake variant. Tropius is another one. It's, you know, it's known for having the fruit that it likes on its neck. I'm sure you can do a regional variant there. All right, we got 5 minutes to find a shiny Grookey to reclaim our shiny fail. But it's not looking too good. Do I work in language school? No. So I just went to school there. I ended up working in a Thai massage place actually, because I learned how to do Thai massage while I was in Japan, which is very random, but I was just going to school at the language school. I didn't work there. You found a shiny Cacnea without saving, and second, still missing 2 shiny Cacnea. That is unfortunate. Yeah, it's very easy sometimes to just forget to save. Because like the first 2 that I found, they never used the recoil moves, so I just assumed that it was perfectly safe. And for the third one, I was just like, all right, this is the last one. I don't need to save. It's the end of the sandwich. Little did I know, it was not safe at all. All right, we got 3 minutes. Oh, wait a minute. It wouldn't have mattered anyway because I don't have... I forgot I put autosave back on because I was doing Terra Raid battles. So this whole time I had autosave on. So either way, I would have always failed that shiny because I had autosave on, because it autosaves after the encounter. I just noticed that because when I went out of the picnic, I saw the save icon. I forgot to turn off autosave. So realistically, there was nothing I could do to reclaim that. I was always gonna fail that. Come on, shiny Grookey. Damn it. Wasting time running into that by accident. All right, we got a minute left before we are finished. I mean, we did catch one shiny. We got the Blossom, but the last shiny Grookey does not look like we're gonna run into it. I mean, I would say just keep studying Japanese, and if you want to move to Japan, the easiest way is to come and join a language school. Do that for like 3 months or 6 months just to kind of see. Now, I will say from everyone that I hear, the Japanese work culture is kind of rough. So definitely be prepared for that. Yeah, so you can stay in Japan just being in a language school learning Japanese. You will be there on like a student visa. All right, this is the last reset. Unfortunately, no shiny Grookey. All right, that's unfortunate, but we will end it here. I will get the last shiny Grookey off stream. Yeah, keep an eye out. I'm planning to stream roughly around the same time. So you can convert a student visa into a work visa only if you actually find a job that sponsors your visa. Like, you specifically have to find a job. And usually a lot of the jobs require like N2 level Japanese for like the more difficult jobs, like IT jobs, engineering jobs. You can find like restaurant jobs at like N3, but if you want to do engineering, computer science kind of related jobs, you're going to need like near fluent Japanese. Yeah, so you just need to make sure your Japanese is like near fluent. Like N2 level. Sometimes you can find jobs, maybe, but I'm not aware. But yeah, I gotta head out. It is closing in on midnight. So, and I have Japanese class tomorrow and Shoto. So I need to actually kind of sleep. But I appreciate everybody for stopping by, all the follows. I usually stream around this time because it's like night in Japan. So yeah, keep an eye out. We're going to do some more shiny hunting, maybe some Pokemon champions, stuff like that. But yeah, appreciate y'all, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.